up, you guys? Welcome back to my humble little channel here on YouTube. I just passed 500 subscribers and I'm so grateful and so happy. I think 500 is something to celebrate. That is a huge number for me, and thank you all of you that have subscribed to my channel in the past 5 months that I've been doing this. I'm well on my way to my goal, which is 1,000. I keep this goal kind of alive because it's both the time that I get monetized, but it's also how I can measure my own success on YouTube. It pushes me to review more and to do better. So I'm definitely goal-oriented. You probably saw the title already. I'm gonna review the new Natasha Valentines kit, the Mini Crush palette. And I got it into the mail today, and this is the outside packaging. It comes with a little brush. I bought this off the Sephora website from France. That's where I have to buy my Sephora items because I live in the Netherlands, and it cost me 29 euros. It's currently, when I'm filming this, not available in the United States, so I don't know what the dollar price is. Usually I put down the dollar price and the dollar amount, but I'm gonna assume it's the same as the what was that palette, that holiday palette for Christmas, the Mini Metropolis palette, because this one also comes with a brush, same as that one. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't sure if I was gonna pick up this palette because this is a color story really out of my comfort zone. I don't really gravitate towards pinks. I actually had the Mini Love palette once received with a purchase, and I passed that one along pretty quickly. I knew I wasn't gonna get a lot of use out of that. So let's check out the palette, and I'll make sure to just include a Mini Love palette next to it, a photo of it. But this is the Mini Crush palette. It has 5 shades. It has Daisy, which is a chroma crystal, Lotus, which is a creamy matte, Koi, which is a creamy matte, Soul, which is a creamy matte, and Claret, I believe, which is a metallic. Just to give you some details, there are 5 pans in this. All of them are 8 grams, 4 grams in total, and it has a 24-month shelf life. Of course, it also comes with a brush, and I'm gonna open the brush on camera, and I believe this is gonna be the same type of brush as in the holiday kit. So I do have the holiday kit brush. Actually, if you see them both side by side, I feel like the Valentine's Day brush is a little thicker. So this is the angle from the side, and this is the angle up front. It might be a little bit different, but I'm not sure if that's just my imagination. This one is a little thicker. Before I start this video, let's do some swatches of the colors. And these are the swatches. Okay guys, I decided to prime my lids before I started this video. Let's move to the side and then put a little palette up here. And let's go in with Lotus first and see how well it shows up on my eyes. I'm gonna take the brush that came with the packet. This is where we're at right now. It's taking me a little while to build up the color on my skin tone, even after primed lids. And this is the lightest shade, but it's not light enough to be an inner corner highlight of any sorts. So I do really want to use it as a base. It does build up really well, but I also think that this brush is nothing to write home about. I would prefer a denser brush. So I'm gonna check if I have a dense brush and see how well this performs. Okay, so this brush is much better. This is a more dense buffing brush, and I would prefer that for this shade. This is where we're at right now. It looks very pink. It's exactly what I expected it to look like. So in that case, let's move on. I'm gonna use the Soul shade next. This is my favorite shade of the palette. I'm gonna use the same brush. Okay, so this is where we're at using that second shade. I think the best thing to do is use the last matte shade and then play around with the metallics and chroma crystals. I'm gonna use a small brush for this last shade and see if I can use it as sort of a thick liner. Okay, let me clean out the outer corners of my eye and see what we're left with. Okay, so this is where we're at right now. I'm just gonna do the bottom lash line with that same dark color, the koi color. And I'm gonna smudge it out with Soul. So these are currently all the matte shades of the palette. And this is where the magic happens. I'm gonna go into Claret. I think Claret is such a beautiful color. And lastly, let's go into the chroma crystal shade Daisy. Okay, let me put on some liner and some mascara and let's check out the eye look. Okay, and this is where we're at. This is the final look. I decided to go full drag and put on fake lashes. I'm not actually a fake lashes fan, but I feel like this palette was begging for it. So there you have it. I'm wearing Demi Wispies by Ardell, and this is the final look. Okay, so let's talk about this beautiful little palette. Let's first talk about how incredibly Barbie pink it is. It pulls incredibly pink. It's a great Valentine's Day story. I'm sure that if you have the mini love, you see this palette, you're like, I'm not really sure if I need this palette. But if you're looking for a pink based palette and you want to go for that Barbie doll look, I think this is a beautiful palette to actually get. I like that you get a brush with it, but it's, for me, completely unnecessary. I think the idea is more that it more looks like a Valentine's Day packet, so together you're kind of like, okay, I'm feeling like I get a present. I thought this look was pretty easy to create. I did have to build up some of the colors. This one, for example, was a pretty like big build up, but the rest of the colors were very, you know, great in opacity. I think Natasha Denona shadows are pretty easy to work with. It was the first time I tried a chroma crystal shade, and it's a beautiful shade. I don't gravitate towards palettes like these too much, and this is really out of my comfort zone. So I did decide to pair it with a extreme pink lip. I would normally never do this. This is so out of my comfort zone, but I feel like this palette was just asking and begging for it. The shades I like the most are the more red, rosy tones. The shade I like the least are these two matte shades, and the chroma crystal shade is actually incredibly stunning. I have nothing like this in my collection. So honestly, I am happy to have this. I'm not sure how much I'll pull for it, but it does make for a really beautiful look. If I can give one criticism or something that's a bit of a personal preference of mine, I like palettes that have a brow bone shade or a highlight shade, and this one doesn't have that, whereas the Mini Love does have that, you know, very bright color that you can use as an inner corner highlight. But we got to a look that is really, I feel, very acceptable, very pretty, very girly, and nonetheless a great palette. I feel like this palette comes down to, if you like these shades, then you'll like this palette. I think a lot of you will probably look at this palette and say, I don't really need it. It is unique in my collection because I don't have a lot of palettes that are this opaque and this pink, and altogether I do think that I look fun. I think this looks like a fun look. There's nothing else that I can say except let's sign off here and make this video a little shorter for y'all. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. Comment down below if you have any questions about this palette. I do tend to just reply to everyone, and I want to do longer replies. I really want to get a conversation going, so I really encourage you to comment down below. Also, if you liked anything about this video, please like this video because it gives me feedback, but it also helps with the algorithm so that people know, okay, maybe we should suggest this user to other people that like Natasha Denona. I don't tend to focus on bigger palettes. I love smaller palettes, so most likely I'll only review the smaller palettes. So it's really up to you to subscribe if is for free and I do really appreciate it. So let's sign up here, and thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you like this look and if you're gonna get the palette yourself. Bye.